Hey guys, so what's up? What's going on? Alright, so I wanted to I actually recorded this video about maybe like 2 weeks ago, but then I kinda didn't like it, so I'm re-recording it. So these are my maybe top three, top four lesbian ships. They're my favorites. I love reading fan fictions about them. They're literally my top favorites. Um, so right now I got the lighting to be better. I'm still at my grandma's, but I got my lighting to be better. Um, so I hope you guys like the lighting this time. Um, let's see. So I made a list. I have it on my other phone, but I think I'm gonna just read off the list and then I will go back and go more in depth with it, you know? Okay, so let's get started. Jory. I love Jory. Like Jade and Tori are like so cute together. Okay, so first things first. Tori isn't afraid of Jade. Jade lets Tori touch her. They both think each other is pretty. They have lots of cute and awkward moments together. Like, you can't deny it. Jade wears Tori's signature necklace after their little play date. The tickle scene on the April Fool's episode. Them being Kat's moms. Like, seriously? Like, you cannot deny that's their dynamic together, all three of them. Like, seriously. Jade goes to Tori when she's upset. Like, I have not once seen her go to Beck when she was upset, like in any of the episodes. Anytime she's upset, she goes to Tori. They're doing construction downstairs, in the courtyard. So if you guys hear that, sorry. Let's see. The way you look at each other. Yeah, the way they look at each other. Like, it's so adorable. Like, you could tell, like, in their eyes, like, bro, they like each other. Beck isn't the best boyfriend. I like Beck. He's one of my favorite characters. But when it comes to, like, all that, he's not the best. And I'll go more in depth in a little bit after I finish this list. They are both each other's biggest fans. They make each other happy. It's clear when you see that look in their eyes, just saying. Look on their face. Beck and Tori would not be a good match either. Not gonna lie, they did have a little bit of chemistry, but I'll go more in depth a little later. I personally think that Tori makes Jade a better person. And hold on, I'll go more in depth with that in a second. And then the last item on the list is Jade listens to Tori. And that kind of goes into the better person thing. All right. So for that, I'm gonna go more in depth with some of these things. Hold on 1 second. I have to get the list. I'm recording this on my phone. I don't have a camera, but I still hope you guys like it. This is my iPhone 11 that I'm recording with, and so I do hope you guys like it. Right now I just started work, so I have been busy and I kind of can't really what's someone call it, I can't really pay for a camera, nor do I know how to really use one. So yeah. Okay. So what I wanted to go more in depth with is Tori isn't afraid of Jade, right? Like, you can see how everybody in the like, not episodes, but like everybody in the show is afraid of Jade at some point. Like even Beck sometimes. Like she is a pretty dominant person, and like Jade has made a reputation for herself at her school, and even like other people outside of her school. Like when you see them during like in different scenes, like even you could see that other people are still kind of scared of her. But Tori's kind of like, she stands up to her, and she's not afraid to say anything to Jade. If she really needs to say something, she's gonna say it, and that's that. And Jade's not gonna stop her either. So it's like, even if they're bickering, like Tori's not afraid to go there. So that's cool, because you know that she can handle Jade. So I like that. And then the fact that Jade lets Tori touch her, the fact that she doesn't like anybody to touch her, even like I think once or twice in the show, she even like told Beck to stop touching her. So it's like, the fact that she even lets Tori touch her, and Tori's supposed to be the one that she hates the most. Just saying, you know, that's weird. That's suspicious. And then let's see, because there's a couple that I'm gonna skip over because I don't really think I need to say much for those. But hold on. Okay. So Beck not being the best boyfriend. So I just rewatched the show like a couple months ago, and cause like I haven't watched it since I was a kid, since like it first aired. So I rewatched it when it came on Netflix, and I realized like a lot of the times when Beck and Jade are bickering and something, like I feel like, you know, that's gonna happen in a relationship every once in a while. But they fight and they break up constantly, and then on top of that, it's just like one time Jade says, "Oh, I want to like smash my head into the car door or whatever," and wait, Jade says whatever, she says that, and then Beck is all like, "Well, I have a car," and blah blah blah. And it's just like, he shows a lot of signs that he's not happy. Like he shows it sometimes. And then like on top of that, in the episode where Tori needs a ride to school and she takes a ride with Beck, and he has like 6 girls in the back seat, and y'all know that Jade be jealous, and she be crazy with the jealousy. So y'all know he probably didn't even tell her about that. And some of them, I think he said in the episode, some of them don't even go to his school or whatever. So why is he giving all these girls a ride when he, first of all, when he has a girlfriend? Second of all, it's just like, I know he's a ladies' man, but he doesn't have to say yes. He knows how to say no. He doesn't have to say yes. So why is he doing it? I understand him giving Tori a ride because she's his friend and she knows Jade. I'm sure Jade wouldn't care if it was Tori. But those 6 other girls, I don't even remember exactly how many girls there were in that car. But still, why? Why? And then the fact that like when girls hit on him, he doesn't really say anything. Like he kind of just goes with it. I'm just saying. Like, and that's the thing, because Beck is like one of my favorite people on the show. Like he's really chill, but I just think when it comes to that, maybe it's just his relationship with Jade that he does that with. But still, that's not the best thing. I don't think. So, like, Jade and Tori are each other's biggest fans, and I wanted to go more in depth with that because, like, a lot of the times, like, in the, like, when they're performing, they're both there for each other, and they're both, like, cheering the loudest, and you can see, like, they're both smiling all the time whenever the other one is performing. So, whether it's a play or whether it's singing, like, you can tell. And then the fact that, you know, at the end of the day, they're there for each other. Like, Jade goes to the, like, gorilla club thing for Tori and kind of helps her, like, push her out of the, like, out of her comfort zone. And then, you know, like, I mean, yeah, Jade says all these things, but at the end of the day, you have to pay attention to her actions because words are just words at the end of the day. And you can say them with any tone you want. You really can. And people can tell if you're lying or not. So, like, I'm just saying. Her actions show that she at least cares a little bit about Tori. I personally think they would be the best couple, but just saying. Her actions show that she cares at least a little bit. And then Tori, no matter what Jade says or does to her, she still supports Jade. She still helps Jade at the end of the day. Like, even though Jade's like the scariest person in school, like, nobody really would, like, go out of their way to help her unless, like, it's just like Tori does that and she doesn't have to, and it would be justified. She doesn't have to, but she does it anyways. And, you know, that's probably just the person she is, but still, like, just saying, that's another reason. And then the fact, I have to touch on this too, the fact that Jade opens up to Tori. She opens up to Tori about her problems. She opens up to her about her relationship with Beck. She opens up to her about her father, which I am guessing the only other person that would probably know that is Beck. And if it's not Beck, then it's... I mean, I personally think that Tori is probably the first person that she told. But, you know, I didn't write the show. So if she was to tell anybody else, it would probably be Beck. Why would she trust Tori telling her that? Grandma, estoy haciendo algo. Okay. Anyways, that's my grandma. But yeah, so, like, it's just kind of weird to me. You know, like, she trusts Tori a lot, and you can see it through the show. Like, I mean, I know, you know, friends trust each other a lot too, but, like, still, they're dynamic sometimes. The little flirty, awkward moments, the little, like, lip bites, the way their eyes, like, the way they look at each other, just saying. And then let's see, what else did I want to touch on? Okay, so basically the last two things was how... Oh, wait, no, sorry, three things. So I don't think Beck and Tori would be a good couple either, because although there was a little bit of chemistry, in the first episode, Tori only kissed Beck because Jade was practically being a bitch to her and she kind of wanted to get her back. And I get that. And then a lot of the times, like, you can just see they're just really good friends, like, and it really doesn't have to go any further than that. Like, and then at the end of the day, when Beck wants to, like, kiss her and he's like trying to be like, oh, why can't we be together and all this and that, Tori sticks to it and she's like, I'm not gonna do that to Jade. I would never do that to her. I would never do that to her. So, like, just saying, like, and you could tell, like, Tori was always riding for Jade, like, the whole time, like, seriously. And then, what else? Okay, so the other two things kind of intertwine with each other. So, like, how Tori kind of makes Jade better, or like, and how like Jade listens to Tori. So, like, with that, I just think that because Tori is not afraid of Jade, Jade kind of like calms down around Tori. Like, I hope you get what I'm saying, but like, there's like a couple clips in the show where like you can see like Tori says something and Jade just listens. She's like obviously she makes an excuse, oh, I'm doing it because I want to, but like you could clearly tell that she's not only doing it for herself, but she did because Tori said so. So, like, just saying. And then, like, it's just like, with Tori, Jade seems less, like, hostile. And it's kind of, you know, can be more vulnerable. And I also just love that enemies to frenemies to lovers trope. Like, I've always loved that ever since I was a kid. Like, that has always been something that I've loved. Like, I love those love stories all the time. And the only reason I do is because I feel like when you're enemies, you kind of see the worst in each other already. And then when you start becoming frenemies and friends and whatever, you kind of start to see all these little, like, sprinkles, all these good parts of each other that you didn't really see before. And then it turns to lovers, and then you're just like, well, you've seen every side of them, and now you're just hooked, you're in love. Like, personally, that's how I feel about these stories. I love them. So a lot of these, well, at least my top ones are the same. It's just like the same trope, basically. Like, come on now. And I personally think it's the best, just saying. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to the next ship. So the next ship is Hizzy. Hope and Lizzie are like my favorite, one of my favorites, because like Lizzie is, you know, hot and fiery, and she's kind of like, you know, she's going through some shit, but at the same time she seeks a lot of attention from a lot of different people. So I can see why people, like, she wasn't people's favorite person. And then Hope, she's supposed to be the solution to everything, and she's supposed to like be the hero. And you could tell like especially like in the first season, she kind of was a little bit like, oh, I know, like, I know how to do these things, I don't really need anybody, blah blah blah. But then, like, slowly as her and Lizzie become friends, like, she starts to work with more people and kind of starts to like open up. And then at the same time, they're teaching each other like not to, like, they don't have to sacrifice so much, and they're not just made for one thing, one path, or one person, or whatever. So I love that. And I'm only on like the second or third season. I do know a little bit about what goes on in the fourth season with their relationship so far, but like, I'm not gonna watch any spoilers. I just happened to accidentally view one, so that kind of sucked a little bit. But I'm gonna just slowly watch the third season, and then when the fourth season comes on Netflix, I will watch that and see what happens. But I think my opinion will probably stay the same anyways. Alright, so let's get into it. Josie was scared to tell Lizzie that she had a crush on Hope because she thought that Lizzie would steal Hope from her. Just saying. And the fact that she states, anytime I like somebody, you go for them. Picking up like how Josie, her love interests are mainly females, and therefore I feel like because she said that, I feel like Lizzie is probably bisexual or pansexual or whatever. One of those. That's what I think personally. That's one of my that's one of my ideas that I just recently thought about as I was watching the show. Cause I was really thinking about that. That's why it's my first one on the list. Second thing is they make each other feel better. Willing to be left behind or die for each other. Not gonna lie, I've seen a couple moments. Lizzie literally was the first one to remember Hope. Just saying, not gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. These things make me all types of crazy every time I'm reminded of them. Okay. Lizzie also was the happiest one that Hope was back when people started to remember her, whatever. Lizzie is the only one that I've heard so far that says Hope's full name. And I've heard her say it around maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the show already, and I've never heard anybody else say her full name. I might have missed something, but just saying. They complement each other. They do. Once they start to become friends, they've complimented each other. They help each other a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Even when they're mad, they do tend to help each other. They get each other's mental health problems, in a way nobody else does. And I feel like that's also something that really bonds them. They would have been friends sooner had Josie not lied. Just saying. They probably would have been friends sooner. And they probably would have, got along a little better. I don't know. I think that's something that could have really happened. How Lizzie says the safest place for her to be is next to Hope. Just saying. I think it was one of the episodes in season 2. They help each other realize that they have options. They're Hope isn't just made for one path, like I said, and not just made for one person. And it's the same thing for Lizzie. She's not just made for the merge, and she's not just made for one person. They help each other realize that. They calm each other down. A lot of these things are kind of repeated. I probably should have done a little bit more thinking. But, sometimes it be like that. When they're in danger, they do be thinking about each other. Usually their first kind of thoughts are to make sure the other one's safe. They hug a lot. And I know friends can hug a lot, but I'm just saying, I would like to think that it's more than friends. The way they look at each other, every time, they look at each other with so much, love and care in their eyes, you could tell. I'm blind and I could tell. Just saying. I'm blind. I could tell. I'm just saying. How does nobody else tell? How? Just saying. All right, some of these things I'm gonna go back and go more in depth with. Okay. So, like, I feel like the way they make each other, like, feel better and help each other is, like I said, with the mental health thing. Like, they both have issues with their mental health. And that makes them understand each other differently, like, than other people, because mental health is something that we all struggle with, but, like, it's not something that other people really talk about. But when you bond over that, it becomes easier to talk about it with that person that you're bonding with. And it's because then that person gets to see those little quirks and those little things that come with those little mental issues, and then they can act upon that, whether it's you getting heated or you getting sad or you just a little bit off. That person can pick up on it. So it's just like, I love that. I love that. And then the fact that they, like, really do, like, calm each other down. Like, I remember, like, Hope almost, like, was starting to have, like, her own little panic attack, and her magic was out of whack and shit. And Lizzie just takes her outside, and she's all like, girl, just let that balloon pop. Just scream as loud as you can. And, you know, vice versa, like, Hope helped Lizzie when she was having her own little panic attack. When she was, like, talking about the merge, and it was, like, Hope tried to calm her down. She's like, I'll call my Aunt Freya, like, we'll figure this out, you know, there's no need to worry. And then she also goes to Josie and tries to be like, hey, you need to be there for your sister, like, blah, blah, blah. And she defends her. And so it's just like, come on now. Come on now. I love that. And then, let's see, what else did I want to go more in depth with? Okay. So, let's see. I think that's all I really wanted to go in depth with for them. And then, let's see. Okay, so this one you guys might not really know about. I don't know if you guys have heard of the show Dark Matter. I started watching that show maybe like a year ago. I'm on, like, season 3. I think there's only 3 seasons, but I just watched it kind of, like, on and off. And the relationship is between two, well, that's not her real name, but they call her two. You'll have to watch the show to figure out what they really mean by that, but they call her two, and then the other person in this relationship is android. She's an actual android, and she has, obviously, like, you know, it's kind of like set in the future and in space, so it's a really good show. Remember, it's called Dark Matter. If you want to watch it, Dark Matter is, like, a really good show. I love it. Anyways, some of the things I'm gonna list off, I don't have, like, a long list for this, but, like, I feel like it doesn't need one. 2 always protects android. She always does. Oh, by the way, the android has a name too, but they don't really use it. They just call her android. Her name is Suki. Oh, You know what? I'll just tell you the names. So, 2 actually has multiple names, but I'm gonna just call her Rebecca because Rebecca is one of her names, but it's the one that I can remember. Because there's another one, but I forgot it. And then, like I said, the android, her name is Suki, so I'll just call them that so that you guys kind of follow me better. So, Rebecca protects Suki. Rebecca trusts Suki first. Like, she trusted her first. And she trusted her more than anybody else. Suki was made for Rebecca. I'm not gonna lie. She was. You'll have to watch the show to figure out why and how, but yeah. Okay, so Suki was actually, she was made kind of like as a copy of this like human scientist or whatever. And, Rebecca had a relationship with this scientist. And, so they were both a couple. But then when the scientists had some issues that I'm not going to state because you should watch the show, they made Suki so that Rebecca wouldn't be alone. Yeah. Suki believes in Rebecca. Suki and Rebecca are literally like almost always together or in contact, like seriously. Rebecca comforts Suki a lot. I mean, you guys have to remember she's an android, so like she, I mean, but she does have human emotions, so she doubts herself sometimes. Yeah. Hi. How are you? That's my grandma. Okay, sorry. Taking me a while. Suki always goes to Rebecca for anything. Like, seriously. I love that. Rebecca is a part of Suki's future. You'll have to watch the show to figure out why I said that. But yeah. And Rebecca doesn't see Suki as a machine, even though everybody else kind of does. They have their moments. But like, Rebecca from day one has never seen Suki as a machine. Like, Suki does mean a lot to her. So, okay, so I want to explain the part where, hold on. Well, I already explained some of it, but actually, I think I'm good. And then the last one is Swan Queen. I love Swan Queen. My favorite ship of all time, I think. For now. For now, it's my top favorite. It's always been my number one. For like the past couple years, ever since I seen Once Upon a Time. I feel like Emma and Regina just really have a good relationship. like their growth through their relationship has been good. Like, I love the development of their relationship. That's what I'm trying to say. So I have a lot for this once, because this spans through years and like 7 seasons of a show. Well, 6 seasons, because Emma isn't in season 7 really. So 6 seasons. They save each other. Regina lets Emma get away with things that she probably wouldn't let anybody else get away with. The unnecessary touching, like, seriously. Okay, the fact that in the beginning of the show, Emma didn't want to be alone anymore. That's all she wanted. And then Henry and Regina step into her life, like, seriously. The lingering stares that they give each other, like, seriously, is crazy. I love that. Huh? ¿Qué? Ok, un momento. Okay, the fact that Regina looks at Emma the same way that she looked at Daniel, like, I compared it. Like, she'd be looking at her the same way. Emma defends Regina and makes sure that everyone knows that she's not the evil queen anymore. Like, she's not the evil queen anymore. She's Regina. She's just Regina, and she's not perfect. They have a son together. I mean, Henry is so adorable, and their family dynamic is so cute. They are always smiling and relieved to see each other every time. The fact that true love is magic, and they both use their magic together a lot. Emma believes in Regina like Henry does. Like, seriously, I feel like throughout the first couple seasons, the main people that believe in her are Henry and Emma. Like, seriously, they both have a checkered past, and I like that because it gives them good character. Like, they're both not perfect, and they're not trying to be perfect, but they're trying to be better. So, like, I like that. Sorry, my lips are chapped like crazy. I'll put some chapstick on after this. But Regina looks sad every time Emma called her evil during like the first 2 seasons. She looks sad or disappointed or something every time Emma called her evil. I don't think she cared that much when other people did it. The fact that Regina in the first couple seasons says Emma and Henry's names, but she would say she wouldn't call anybody else by their names. She would call them a witty nickname, or for Snow and Charming, she would be like, oh, Emma and Henry and the 2 idiots. And I love it. when it comes to Henry, they'll work together even if they're mad at each other. Because really, at the end of the day, their son is what matters. The fact that they share clothes, like, seriously. They challenge each other. I do think they do, because, like, Emma isn't afraid of Regina, and it's the same thing. And I feel like they challenge each other because Emma obviously hasn't done as bad as Regina has, but at the same time, she's like, bro, I'm no saint, and I'm gonna help you, and you're gonna, you're gonna be a good person, and I believe in you. And then vice versa, like, whenever Emma was gonna do something dark, Regina pulled her back, and she was all like, I've been there, it's not worth it, you don't need to be that way. And, like, I feel like they're both dominant people too, so it's just like a constant kind of like thing that challenges them. The fact that Regina acts jealous anytime Emma has a boyfriend, like, or even an ex that shows up, like Neil and Killian, she acts jealous around them a lot. The fact that Regina also apologizes to Emma, and mind you, this means a lot because she apologizes to her maybe what I think the first time I've actually heard her apologize to her was like in season 2 or something. And mind you, the only person that she has apologized to up until that point was Henry, because Henry was her world. And so the fact that she moves that over to apologizing to Emma for being in the wrong and all this and that, like, that's serious growth right there. Hold on. And the fact that, like, even like when they're all mad at Regina and everybody blames her for everything and all this and that, like, Emma knows that Regina's trying, and she's trying to redeem herself and be a good person. Only other person that constantly believed in her was Henry, so like the fact that Emma does that too, I love it. They both don't want to raise Henry alone. Mind you, during this time, the time that they said all this, like, what, Emma had Killian and Regina had Robin. So during that time, like, the fact that they're like, no, you have to be here, no, you have to be here, I don't want to raise Henry alone, blah blah blah. And you could tell, like, even when they have their relationships, nobody else is allowed to parent Henry except for them too. So I love that too. Okay, Emma doesn't want Regina to die, and Regina doesn't want to kill Emma. Like, in the first, what, like 3 seasons, their relationship isn't really like defined that well, and like they're kind of trying to figure out their dynamic, and Regina's still like trying to redeem herself and stuff. So the fact that, I think this was in season 3, like, Regina's like, I don't actually want to kill you and all this and that. Like, I've never actually wanted to kill you. I wanted you out of my life, but I never actually wanted to kill you. So, I mean, that's big growth for, like, the evil queen, just saying. They can tell when the other is lying. And I love that because I feel like, okay, so, I mean, this can be a really good friendship, and that's awesome, but, like, what I've noticed is, at least in my life, it has to be, like, a really, really close friend, or, like, somebody I'm really into for me to, like, be able to be like, bro, you're lying to me. Or, like, hey, I know this isn't the truth, so tell me what's going on. Just saying. So, I like that. I think that's a great reason to ship them, personally. They worry about each other, like, when, like, I think they were, like, fighting some monster. I don't even remember which season it was. But, like, Emma was worried because Regina wasn't there yet, and, like, she wanted to make sure Regina was safe. And then Emma got worried when Regina wanted to go to New York and, like, try to get Robin back and, like, face Zelina and stuff. And, like, she was all like, you know, if you won't let me come with you, take my gun, blah, blah, blah. And then again, Emma was worried when Regina went undercover and, like, had to work with, you know, other past villains because she didn't want her to, like, get hurt or, you know, go back to her old ways or blah, blah, blah. And then same thing when, like, I think they were also fighting a monster. I don't remember which season, but Regina was worried because Emma didn't show up, and then she was worried again when Emma went to go get rid of her magic, and she's all like, bro, why would you guys let her do that? Like, where is she? Blah blah blah. Like, just like, they bring each other's magic out. Not gonna lie. Like, season 2, Regina was still struggling with her magic. They just brought it back to Storybrooke. She couldn't, like, stabilize it. They're trying to, you know, use the hat to, like, get rid of the, I don't know what it was called, the Wraith or whatever. And Regina just simply couldn't get it to work. As soon as Emma touched her, her magic worked, hat worked. Now, it could have been a coincidence, but at the same time, the fact that their magic works so good when they're both together, just saying. And then on top of that, season 3, Saving Henry, and they're like trying to like, Regina is teaching Emma to, like, use her magic, and, like, Emma's like, I can't do it, blah blah blah, don't do this, don't do that. And then Regina just kind of argues with her a little bit. As soon as their argument is over, Emma's magic works. Like, she lit that fire in her. And the fact that it comes out as an actual fire. Like, seriously. I love that. Well, I love their little, like, family moments with Henry. Like, it's just them three. Like, especially the fact that, you know, like, Henry's all like, hi moms, and, like, they both give him advice, and they're like, they walk him to school together and all this and that. Like, I love those little family moments. And, like, where they're both parenting him. I love that one scene where they're, like, both parenting him, and Emma's like, oh, you stay here, you're the lookout. And he's all like, what? No, that's my idea. Like, don't go without me. And Regina's all like, don't argue with your mother. And he looks at her, and she's all like, or your mother. And I'm like, bro, I love that. I literally love that scene. It's crazy. Like, that was, like, one of my favorite scenes. I think that was in, like, season 5. It was, like, one of my favorite scenes out of that season. Like, seriously. Okay. The fact that Emma gives Regina her dagger. I think this is really important because the dagger is supposed to go to the person that has your best interest at heart. And I remember like reading that from like one of the writers of the show, that's what they were saying, like writers or producers or whatever. One of the people from the show said that. And I remember reading about it, and he was saying how, I believe it was a he, but he was saying how the dagger is supposed to go to the person that has your best interest at heart, the person that will kind of like care the most, but at the same time have the capacity to, you know, pull the plug and like do it even though it's hard. They care, but if they have to, they'll do it anyways. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? When she gives Regina that dagger, what does that tell you? Not only does Regina have Emma's best interest, but that means that although she really, really, really cares about Emma, if she has to, she'll do what she needs to do. Like, why can't I find a love like that? Seriously. I love that. Okay, so I read this stuff online. It was like a quote thing that I seen when I was looking up some stuff, and I think it's true. So, they are one of the strongest families in the show. The fact that they were saying how Regina has the heart of the most resilient. Henry is the heart of the truest believer. And Emma is the savior. I mean, those all three are very important and very powerful things to have in yourself. So I think that that little quote was awesome. Okay, so this thing I kind of wrote myself, and I heard it in a movie. I heard it in a movie as a quote, and it really fits both of them. So they don't always like each other, but they do love each other. And the thing with that is you like because and you love despite. Like, Regina did all these horrible things, and you know, she's still working on herself and all this and that. But I mean, obviously people don't like the things that she did, but Emma and Henry can look past that and still love her for her and still defend her for her. And I love that. And it's the same thing, like Emma did some questionable things too, and Henry and Regina can look past that and still love her for her and willing to put in the time for her. I love that. Okay. Anyways, that's my great grandma. But like, yeah, I think those are like the main things for them. Like those, I had a longer list for them. But yeah, like I really, really do think that Swan Queen is the best, and I think that if you listen to my list of things and then rewatch the show, you'll see more than what you thought. Like, you won't look over it. And I feel like it's pretty obvious, and I feel like had one of them been a man, they probably would have been a couple. Just saying. Because they are just perfect for each other. also, you have to peek that the fact that it would be the perfect revenge against Snow. Just saying. Just saying. That would be the perfect revenge. Not saying that, you know, Regina would do that, because obviously she's different now than she was then. But, just saying, that could have been the perfect revenge. Anyways, this is the end, and I am probably gonna make another video soon. I don't know. I have work, and I've been busy with a lot of things. So I'm not gonna make any promises. But I hope to upload another video soon. So, yeah. Alright, have a blessed day, and I hope you guys really like the lighting on this video. I'm actually using my lamp that I got from the Lighthouse for the Blind. And it's actually really bright, brighter than I thought. So, yeah. Alright, peace.